Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we have something really fascinating and honestly, quite moving to look into.
We do. We're looking at the December wellness news from the International Waldenström's Macroglobulinemia Foundation, or IWMF.
And this is so much more than just a newsletter, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels more like a blueprint, really, a detailed roadmap for how people can navigate a rare chronic disease like WM.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack that blueprint. We're going to move through it in the order they've presented it to really get a sense of their focus.
A focus on blending medical vigilance with proactive wellness.
And maybe their most essential asset of all, hope.
That concept of hope really does set the entire stage. And we're not talking about, wishful thinking. The theme here is this solid, measurable connection between psychological assets like hope and actual physical health outcomes.
Okay, so let's start right there with the role of hope. The newsletter states pretty clearly that it's linked to a greater sense of meaning, which makes sense, but also to significantly better physical health and stronger social bonds. It's positioned as a powerful internal tool.
It is. And they immediately translate this big idea into 4 really concrete goals for the end of 2025.
What are they?
Well, the first is the ultimate one, right? A cure, or at least a much longer life expectancy.
Of course.
Second, they focus on scientific advances, especially where science, community, and this idea of wellness integration meet.
And the last 2 seem to really shift into patient empowerment.
They do. They're hoping to see medical teams actively using integrative therapies. And finally, just the continued growth of their own IWMF wellness community.
What I find so interesting is that they don't just leave it as a feeling. They suggest, what is it? The Hearth Hope Index.
Exactly. They describe it as a valid and reliable tool to actually measure your own level of hope.
So they're treating hope like a vital sign you can track.
That's a great way to put it. It moves it from a feeling to a metric.
And tying all of this together is that one core sentiment. You are never alone.
Yeah, that quote from Bev Andrade really exemplifies it. She talks about this resilient, supportive, non-judgmental family. Because, as she says, we are all on this journey.
That shared experience seems to be the real bedrock.
And it's a very active community. I mean, right away, they mentioned 2 events in December.
Oh, right. The webinar with Declan Cosgrove?
On the 11th, yeah. And then a special Christmas Day meditation on the 25th. They are showing up for people even through the holidays.
Which brings us right to their core philosophy, this welcome to WM wellness.
They make it so clear. It's about evidence-based practices for the whole person, not just the disease.
And I love this. No care partners are always welcome. It's an inclusive approach to healing.
It has to be. And the range of classes they offer just reinforces that whole person idea. It's not just, go lift some weights.
Not at all. We're talking fitness for WM, yoga, tai chi, and qigong.
Relaxation, meditation.
And even a class specifically called Finding Joy.
I mean, that says everything, doesn't it?
Looking at the December calendar, you really see the variety. Things like chair yoga on Mondays. That seems so important for accessibility.
Crucial for patients dealing with fatigue, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have really specialized practices like sound bath meditation on Fridays or specific qigong sessions.
And yoga nidra.
Right. And these aren't just for, relaxing. These are strategic interventions. They help downregulate a nervous system that's constantly under stress from treatment.
And if you can't make the live sessions,
they've got you covered. All the links and recordings are on YouTube and Vimeo.
And they make a point of saying Vimeo has no ads.
It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about their patient-first focus.
Okay, let's shift to the In the News section. This is about quality of life, or QOL research. They talk about a big international survey.
Yeah, 120 WM patients and 34 healthcare professionals. And this is where it gets really interesting.
How so?
The survey found that the standard common QL questionnaires, the forms your doctor gives you,
right,
they just don't fully reflect what WM patients are actually experiencing.
Wow, so the tools are failing the patients.
In a way, yes. It just highlights that you need specific tools for specific diseases. You can't use a generic instrument and expect to capture things like, say, chronic fatigue or neuropathy in the way a WM patient experiences them.
And their own wellness program seems to be filling that gap.
The numbers from their 2025 survey are, well, they're staggering. 72% of people said their quality of life improved because of the program.
72%. And nearly half, 48%, said their main symptoms have improved.
That is a clinical impact. This isn't just a nice to have, this is a critical intervention.
And the testimonial they include really gives that data a human voice. The person talks about feeling less isolated,
Which is huge.
improved mental health, better physical fitness, even better balance and coordination, and of course, less fatigue and anxiety.
When you think about cancer symptoms, fatigue and anxiety are often the absolute worst. So to see a program making a real dent there, that's life-altering.
Speaking of life-altering, the next section is about the therapeutic power of music.
Tying into that upcoming webinar, The Joy of Music, with Declan Cosgrove.
They talk about how music can influence hormones, reduce stress, improve your mood.
And Declan's story just gives it so much weight. He's an Irish patient diagnosed in 2023, and he really struggled. He consciously used the piano to find his way back.
He didn't just play it, he used it as a tool for recovery.
Exactly. And he's been playing for over 40 years. He funneled all that experience into creating something called the deck play method.
Right, which teaches people, mostly older adults, to play without reading music.
It's just a perfect example of the integrative theme, finding that creative focus. The source notes he had a successful recovery after his treatment and that his blood results keep improving.
This theme of combining clinical care with personal advocacy, it continues so powerfully with Roxanne Dinkin's story.
Finding my community.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is a major lesson in due diligence.
So she was initially diagnosed with WM by a local doctor.
But she didn't just accept it. She used the IWMF's physician directory and got a second opinion from an expert, Dr. Rachel Baz.
And that second opinion changed everything.
Everything. The full evaluation led to a re-diagnosis. It wasn't WM. It was something called MGUS.
MGUS. Okay, for those who don't know, what is that?
It's basically a precursor state. It means that monoclonal protein is in the blood, but the condition is benign.
So not cancer.
Not cancer. It carries an increased risk of developing something like WM down the road,
Sure.
but it is not WM. She went from a cancer diagnosis to a watch and wait status.
That's incredible, and it underscores the need for expert verification. But what really gets me is how the community reacted.
Right. Even though he technically didn't have WM, they just welcomed her in.
She said it gave her a feeling of safety, and she connects it back to surviving non-Hodgkin's lymphoma 30 years ago. That "you are never alone" motto is the real deal.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so from there, the newsletter sort of formally defines what all this support is. What is integrative oncology?
And they make a really critical distinction. This is not alternative medicine.
No, it's complementary. It's about using things like yoga, meditation, nutrition counseling, music therapy,
All these mind-body practices.
alongside conventional treatments
Yeah.
to manage side effects like pain, fatigue, and stress.
And yet, here's the shocking part. They include feedback from someone in their 2025 survey.
Oh, this part. Yeah.
17 years of treatment. 6 different oncologists at huge institutions like Dana-Farber and Mass General.
And in 17 years, they were never once proactively offered any integrative health resources.
Not once.
That's a staggering gap, isn't it? It shows why foundations like the IWMF are so essential. The resources exist, but they're often not presented by the immediate medical team.
Patients have to be their own advocates,
Yeah.
which is exhausting.
So let's dive into one of those therapies they offer. Qigong for mental health.
They define it as a practice that connects you with the wisdom in your own body.
And what I found fascinating was the explanation of how it helps with negative emotions. The idea that emotions like sadness serve a purpose.
But if you repress them, they get stagnant.
Right. And that stagnation is what leads to physical problems,
Right.
like sadness turning into depression. Qigong is about letting those emotions flow through you to prevent that.
A sort of psychological house cleaning.
That's a good way to think of it. And it's so accessible. They say you can practice little pieces regularly. You can do the whole sequence for all 6 organ systems in less than 10 minutes.
And they even say you can get a positive physiological response just from watching it if you're too tired to participate.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It speaks to the power of intention.
You-
And they're already planning for January 2026 with classes specifically for fatigue, pain, balance, and anxiety.
Which brings us near the end to Sharon Piotrowski's Lessons Learned in 6+ Years with WM.
This is just a fantastic summary of self-management strategies.
Number 1, be your own advocate. 2, know your symptoms.
3, accept treatment as a bridge. I like that phrasing. 4, value community. 5, prioritize mental health.
And 6, treasure the good days.
That's the key to sustaining hope, isn't it?
It is, and Sharon practices what she preaches. She's a certified personal trainer running their strength and toning class.
Finally, they wrap up with a really practical piece on holiday detox. yoga twists.
Detailing the physical benefits of gentle twisting movements.
And it's not just about flexibility. They talk about how twists can aid digestion by compressing and then releasing the organs.
Which reduces bloating and gas, a common side effect of treatment.
And that compression and release action also stimulates circulation, flooding the area with fresh blood, and, crucially for these patients, helping move lymph through the lymphatic system.
This has been such a deep look into a community that is really defining what comprehensive care should be.
I think what stands out is how proactive they are. It's the integration of rigorous medical vigilance, seeking second opinions, demanding better QOL metrics, with these deeply human, holistic practices like music, qigong, and yoga.
It really is the definition of patient empowerment.
It is. The IWMF is giving people tools for the entire spectrum of their experience.
So, what does this all mean for you listening? I think it means that true empowerment comes from knowledge, yes, but also from finding a community that treats your emotional and psychological health with the same seriousness as your physical health.
And they end with a piece of poetry from Emily Dickinson that just captures everything we've been talking about with hope.
It's beautiful. It starts, "Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul,"
and sings the tune without the words, and never stops at all.
"And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that kept so many warm."
Yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
So, based on all of these resources, on this focus on internal resilience, consider the IWMF's final instruction. Take the Hearth Hope Index. How would you objectively measure and actively foster your own internal thing with feathers moving forward, no matter what challenges you face?